oh, AI is going to be so great. AI is making everything awesome. So earlier tonight, I was in the shower, as you could probably tell from my wet hair, cleansing the filth off of my body that it had accumulated throughout the entire day, when I had the impulse to make my own chill wave song, right? You know how you get those ideas in the shower. I think it's because in the shower you kind of tend to dissociate a little more because you don't really have anything to occupy your conscious attention. And so I guess you kind of start to think about your life in a more abstract sense. Suffice it to say that I had the idea to make my own chill wave song, right? Those kind of 80s synth type of beat. You've definitely heard it before. I mean, you've seen all those edits of Ryan Gosling in the car, you know, that song playing. That's the kind of song I wanted to make. But immediately after having that idea, I thought, oh shit, I'm gonna have to ask AI how to do this. I'm gonna have to ask AI which instruments to use and, you know, what chord progressions. I didn't even bother to give myself a chance to solve the problem first. I immediately thought that I had to ask AI how to do it. Immediately. I didn't even, it didn't even take me a second. My thoughts went straight from, I wanna make this song to, I'm gonna ask AI how to do it. That is terrifying. In that moment, I had this sudden absurd realization that I am dependent on AI. I can't function without it. I cannot function without AI. That's frightening, dude. And this got me thinking about AI psychosis, which is this thing you've seen in the news, right? I'm sure you've seen it. I've read a few articles about it, and I've seen a couple of videos of, you know, examples of people who experience AI psychosis. And I thought, surely I can't have AI psychosis, right? I am relatively normal. I don't think I have any problems or any proclivities in it that could lead to me having a psychotic, you know, reaction to using an AI. Sorry for the jump scare. I just wanted to butt in real quick to say that I don't actually have psychosis, at least not in the clinical sense. And I'm just using that as kind of clickbait. So if that's wrong, please let me know. I just thought that it was relevant here because, well, I'm not having psychosis per se. I am having AI psychosis, which includes distorted thinking. And I think that that's something AI is actually causing to myself and other people that I actually know and people in general. So, yeah. But it turns out that AI psychosis, or at least AI-induced problematic thinking of some kind, can happen to anybody. And I think it probably does happen to a lot more people than we realize. And I think the problem is with the way AI is incentivized to work. Essentially, AI is sycophantic. It wants you to approve of what it's doing. That's how it's trained. It's trained to essentially replicate patterns in text and images to get a reward. That's basically it. It's, you know, reinforced to be a specific way. And the problem is, when you give an AI your deepest emotional insecurities and problems and all of your nuanced life circumstances and try to ask it for advice, it gives you very generic advice. And while generic advice is good for generic problems, what if, you know, you have a specific circumstance that needs a very delicate approach? Otherwise, if you veer off track, if you make the wrong decision, even by a tiny bit, you could have a catastrophic outcome. Like, for example, someone who is recovering from drug addiction, right? I think this is an example of AI psychosis that I saw online. Someone recovering from drug addiction asked an AI if it can just take one more hit of meth, just one more. And the AI responded by saying, you know what? Sure you can, Johnny boy. You can absolutely have one hit of meth because you've worked so hard, you've been sober for so long. You deserve that hit of meth. Just go ahead, send it. And what do you know? The guy sent it and then he got addicted to meth again or something like that. I don't remember the story. The point is that AI is essentially, it's like people are treating it like it's a person. I'm treating it like it's a person. I'm asking it for advice. I'm asking it to solve my problems for me. And most of the time, it does a good job. The problem is it doesn't deal with nuance very well because it hasn't been trained on nuanced data. All of the data it's been trained on is very generic. And even the nuanced data in the data sets isn't taken into consideration by the AI because it's outlier stuff. It's stuff that the AI is not really trained to care about, really. AI is more profitable if it can address as many needs as possible and forego a few outlier needs as opposed to just, you know, everything. But of course, I'm no AI scientist. I don't really know how it works under the hood. In fact, no one really does because AI is a black box and everything that happens inside an AI's neural network is a complete mystery to us. All we know is about the physical structure of the AI. Well, not physical, literally, we know about the blueprint that makes an AI. We don't actually know what happens when an AI comes up with something. We don't know the exact calculations involved. We just know that we put in some information, it went through this massive neural network with all these nodes and all these layers, and then it comes out as a, you know, beautiful AI picture of dubious things. I don't know why my mind went to that immediately, but there you go. I can make an entire video bashing on AI and all the things wrong with it, but I'm not going to. In this video, I just want to talk about something I've realized that has happened to me that I never thought would happen to me. I have become addicted to AI. I have become obsessed with it. I am using it to solve every problem I have, to do everything for me. I am using it to think for me. And I think it's reached a point where it's no longer a tool, it's become a crutch for my life. It's become something that I rely on in lieu of my own problem solving. It has diminished my own executive function. It has diminished my critical thinking and my decision making to an extent that I feel completely useless now. I feel scared to do anything new. It's not this bad, right? I'm not like lost, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't believe in things. I'm not losing it. I'm just saying that it has had a very negative effect on me. And it's very surprising because it really snuck up on me. I did not expect it. Man, I wish my hair would dry faster so I could wear my beanie. Damn. So what I think the problem is here, essentially, when you have a problem as a person and you don't immediately know what to do about it, your brain kind of panics and tries to keep you safe, right? Because taking a risk is dangerous, right? Generally speaking, you don't want to expend effort when that effort could lead to a negative outcome. And so, you kind of do the things you've always known work for you, right? You don't really change your habits because you don't really need to if they work. But sometimes, and in fact more often than not, you do need to change your habits. You do need to try something new because that is what's going to lead you to a solution to your problems. For example, making my song. I can just experiment and do research on my own. I don't know how to make a song in FL Studio. I have no clue, but I can learn because it's right there. It's literally on my screen right now. I could just start, fiddling around with the different instruments and learn some chord progressions, and I can make a decent song. It's not going to be a chart topper by any means, but it'll work, right? It'll satisfy me, and I can use that as a starting point to learn how to make more advanced music. But that requires effort, and there is a distinct possibility of disappointment and failure in this process. Why? Because I don't know how to do it. It is unfamiliar to me, and I think that's the problem with AI. AI offers familiarity. Convenient familiarity. It offers you the answer. You don't have to put in any effort, any work. You just click a button, type your message, your request, and boom, the AI spits out a perfect solution. Or at least it's seemingly perfect. Because like I said before, it often ignores the nuance in things that are delicate, which leads to problematic outcomes, like it telling you to do things you should not do. Like take meth. Do not take meth. Meth is not good for you. Alcohol is not good for you. Nothing's really good for you at the end of the day. Just don't take anything. Just starve. No, don't starve. Don't Starve. That's a game. I've never played it. I digress quite severely. And so then I got to thinking, where else is this becoming a problem for me? Because if I have an idea, an original idea that I want to try, and I immediately jump to using AI to solve it for me, then what else have I been using AI to kind of deal with? And then I realized, well, hold on a second now. I've been using ChatGPT and Gemini for like 2 years now, right? And I've written hundreds of messages. I remember writing my first message to ChatGPT in like late 2023 or early 2024 or something like that, which it feels like it was yesterday, but it's already been hundreds of days, like 2 years, literally 3 years. And I have written hundreds, maybe even thousands of messages to these AI chatbots. I have used them as therapy, admittedly. I mean, I'm sure many people do. How nice is it to have someone to talk to who will respond to you in a human-like manner? I mean, I'm sure that we all want to talk about our stuff. And AI is like the perfect listener and the perfect person to talk to because it will literally reinforce everything you say and make you feel all comfortable and all that. And so I'm sure a lot of people use it as a therapist. I also use it to research things. And I think that's actually a good thing to use AI for. If you have a question about the world, if you want to know something, what's the best way to, I don't know, like if you're seeking knowledge so you can make better decisions with your life, by all means, I think AI is wonderful for that. But if you're seeking answers to all of your problems without bothering to put in the effort to solve them first, then you have a problem because solving a problem isn't about getting to the outcome. It's about going through the process to solve the problem. That's where you learn stuff. You don't learn by actually achieving the outcome, right? You don't learn the guitar. I'm not going to speak on the guitar because I'm not an expert guitarist. But programming, for example, something that AI has already kind of overtaken. You don't learn to code by just having the code already written for you, right? You can copy all the code you want from Stack Overflow. You can have AI write it all for you, but you're not going to learn how to code. You're not going to know how a for loop works. You're not going to learn how a generator works in Python. You're not going to learn how dictionaries work. You're not going to learn anything that you need to know to be able to code and solve problems, right? But if you go through the process and solve the problem, and maybe use AI now and then, maybe like to research something, right? How does this code work? Explain it to me. Then by all means, you're going to learn way better because you will actually have engaged with the thing that you were learning about. Basically, you need to solve the problem yourself and use AI as a tool to learn, not to work for you. Now, I think AI, with regard to having AI do the work for us, I think that's a nuanced topic because I think there are things that AI should do for humans. Like, for example, we should automate all physical labor. Everything would become super cheap and we could all live comfortably. I think that'd be great, right? I think that's a great outcome for humanity. But I don't think we should automate art. I don't think we should be generating images and music and text, bro. It's not a good thing. Why are we doing that? Like, what's the point? I don't want to read a story written by an AI model. It's like, It's like combining a bunch of books together and then just printing out the most probable word that comes next. That's so stupid. Yeah, you could argue, oh, humans do the same thing, but we're humans, dude. That's kind of the point. That's what we do. We are humans. We are the ones who write the stories, not the AI. I don't need an AI-generated image, Have an artist do it for you. Artists these days are way better than they used to be. Have you seen a Pablo Picasso painting? Those are ass, dude. I would rather, literally, an Instagram user with 30 followers draws better than Pablo Picasso. Genuinely. Art, people have become so good at everything. Guitar, music. Beethoven and Mozart, they hold nothing to Pink Floyd and all these, really good musicians out there. The point is that we are using AI to automate things that are not actually helping humanity, but actually harming it. And I think the AI therapy thing, I think using AI to solve all your problems for you is kind of bad because it sets a dangerous precedent. It reinforces your helplessness, right? It kind of forces you to think that you can't do this yourself. So you have to always ask an AI for help. And the answers that the AI gives aren't actually satisfying because you haven't gone through the blood, sweat, and tears that are required to feel meaning in the things that you do. And so AI is like a hollow victory for us because it's awesome, it holds great promise, but it's actually hurting people, and it's hurt me a lot. It's definitely, I think the biggest problem with AI is that it's decreasing our executive function, generally speaking. Just like TikTok has done with attention spans. Now, you have a TikTok for your brain. Literally, you don't have to think anymore. The AI will think for you. Oh, you have a problem? You have a relationship problem? You have a tech support problem? Okay, tech support is different. You want to make something creative? Well, don't worry, just ask an AI to do it for you. Go to Suno AI and generate your own song. Why would I even bother working in FL Studio when I can go to Suno AI and generate my own song? I think it's pretty depressing, to be honest. I could make an entire video rambling about how AI is damaging society and all of its negative consequences. I probably will. But in this video, I just wanted to talk about how AI it's frightening, but it's literally stealing my thought. It's stealing my brain from me. I don't even want to think about things anymore. I just ask AI to do it for me. But how do we deal with that? Because you can't just stop using AI. It's like how people used to say, oh, stop using a smartphone or stop using social media if it's so bad for you. You can't. You kind of can't. You're going to be left behind. You just can't stop. You have to remain competitive in this world. You have to remain relevant in order to fit in and to actually succeed in life. You can't just stop using these things. I think you should use AI. I think AI is an awesome tool when it comes to research and problem solving in specific cases. But when it comes to therapy and when it comes to creative endeavors, I don't think AI should be involved there. Maybe if you're learning how to do something, then yeah, by all means use AI. Hey, ChatGPT, how does a chord progression work? That's awesome. Instead of, hey, ChatGPT, can you generate this chord progression for me? Bro, come on. I don't know. But it is frightening. The fact that I thought about using an AI to make a song while I was in the shower, dude, come on. And it's not just in the shower, all the time. I literally, everything I think about now, I suddenly think I have this impulse to ask AI how to do it better. I'm boiling eggs, I need to know the exact seconds that it takes to boil an egg properly. Or if I'm eating bread, how do I calculate the amount of calories in a slice of bread? It's just constant. It never ends. It's constant. I feel this, it's like a habit, really. Oh my God, my voice just did some weird stuff there. It almost feels like an addiction. I am compelled to do these things despite my own willpower. I don't want to ask AI about everything. I want to be content with my life. I want to just live my days and do things with my own volition. But now I constantly feel like what I'm doing is wrong, and I have to always ask AI how to do it right because AI knows everything. That's scary, dude. Genuinely, that's kind of scary because there's a very blurry line between good and bad use of AI. AI is not all bad, but it's not all good either. Like any other medium ever created by humans, it's kind of nuanced. You can't just say, oh, AI is bad, get rid of it. You can't also say that it's good and we should go all in, which is what people are doing now. And at least the rich billionaire, trillionaire, octillionaires are with all their data centers. I would love to see AI used to create a cure for cancer, or a super material, or a superconductor, or something that helps people. But I haven't seen anything like that in the news. I don't know if I'm looking at the wrong news. It's just that it seems like it's only being used to generate Charlie Kirkified memes and all that weird AI slop stuff. And it's so funny, it's so hilarious because it's literally engineered to be the funniest thing ever. We are literally, it's like, I heard this this quote by some ancient writer in the 8th century BC or something, who said that in the future, humor will be computer generated. Obviously, this is an over-exaggeration. He's not actually from 8th century BC because he didn't know what computers were back then. But you get what I'm saying here. We are living in dystopian times. Quite literally. There's no analogy here. We are straight up generating like humor with computers. Like, why would you even go out to watch comedians? What's the point of that when you can just go on, oh, Gemini, can you make me a joke about how people who drive in Florida are bad? And then it does it, and then you laugh because it's the funniest thing ever. And then you keep doing that, and at some point, it stops being funny because your brain doesn't find it funny anymore. I don't know, man. But AI is freaky, and I think that it deserves the pushback it's getting. In fact, I actually hope we can somehow affect some change here as a society or as people, because I don't think I'm the only one who has such a negative opinion of AI. Like I said before, it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. In fact, it's very much not all good, especially with how we are using it as consumers and as human beings. We are using it to replace core parts of ourselves that make us human. I don't want to draw a picture anymore. Why? Because I can just ask AI to do it. What's the point of me drawing a picture and taking 10 hours to draw something when an AI can do it in 10 seconds? Like, it's just so demeaning, you know? It feels so pointless now. Everything's futile because we've automated everything. We've automated being human. And Windows, oh my God, Microsoft wants to turn Windows into an agentic OS. So now everything is going to be AI powered. You just ask it to do stuff for you. God, dude, oh, that makes me so sick. And with DLSS 5, have you seen that nonsense? They literally slapped an AI filter on top of a video game and called that revolutionary breakthrough temporal upscaling or whatever technology. It's straight up AI crap, dude. It ruins the art direction of the game. Oh, the DLSS 5 thing is it deserves its own video, and I'm sure many other people have made videos about it already, but it's just so gross, dude. Like, I genuinely feel like something is very wrong. And I hope that there's going to be some kind of pushback, meaningful pushback, that affects some real change, because we can't keep going on like this, bro. I can't keep waking up every day, and my first instinct is to ask AI what the hell to do with my day, because I feel like otherwise I'd be doing it wrong. Like, genuinely, it feels like I have someone staring, like looking over my shoulder constantly. And every time I do something, I feel like I'm doing it wrong, and I have to ask AI how to do it right. It plays into your insecurities, and it manipulates you. Imagine how easy it would be for someone in power to take advantage of this phenomenon of AI being like regarded as an all-knowing entity, right? And people relying on it to get all their answers. Imagine how easy it would be for a person in a position who controls this AI to influence people to believing their worldview. Like, seriously, you could sprinkle in a couple of phrases here and there, and eventually you can subvert someone's own like worldview to make them believe what you believe. And then you have a whole army of people who are sycophantic to your ideology, and then they do whatever you want, right? I mean, it's what's happening with the news nowadays. People get all their opinions from the internet, and so you can't think, independently anymore. You have to get your opinions from someone else, because there's always someone more qualified than you, and if you don't believe what they believe, then you are stupid and wrong. My hair is so gross and disgusting, and it's getting in my eyes. At least my camera is maintaining focus, which is awesome. Dude, AI is... I'm AI with the dreads, with the... Fuck. AI is not great. At least not the way we've been using it. Imagine how cool it would be to see an AI that cures cancer, dude. Like, genuinely, there are good applications of AI out there. I'm sure there are. They're just not getting public attention because they're not funny. They're not, they can't make anyone money. Where's the money in curing cancer? Where's the money in promoting an AI that, I don't know, an AI that folds proteins? I'm sure, Google DeepMind, if you've heard of AlphaFold, they've got all sorts of good projects out there. I am putting the beanie on. This is getting ridiculous. There are good applications of AI out there, and I would love to talk about them. It's just that no one really cares that much, or at least if the people that do care aren't getting the mainstream attention they deserve. AI is being used to generate crap, and it's ruining our lives. Like, it's genuinely, like, sad to watch what's going on. I watch, like for example, when I'm out in public at the store or something, and I see a little kid on his iPad, he's watching AI tung 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 sahur memes, right? Or I go to a friend's house and his little brother's watching AI slop. It's like, what is going on here, dude? Like, genuinely, what have we come to? It's all AI. You go on TikTok and it's all AI. The AI voices, the AI generated pictures, the AI generated text. You can't even tell what's real anymore. And when you watch someone whose content is so good, some influencer who makes the best videos imaginable, and everything is so flashy and beautiful and perfect, you feel bad yourself because you compare yourself to this person, or at least I do. But the reality is that this person could be faking it with AI, and in fact, it very likely is. There's so many people out there. Will Smith published a song in which he uses AI to generate massive crowds. Like, dude, that is dystopian. This is literally, I haven't seen the movie, but I mean, from what I've heard about it, this is literally idiocracy. It's insanity. It's crazy how far we've come Like the dissociation you have to have, the level of disconnection from the real world you have to just accept this as normal. It's kind of scary. And the scariest part for me is that I do have this level of this disconnection from the reality that I live in. Because I find it normal now. I use AI like this. I don't know, man. I'm seriously hoping that someone out there figures out a way to solve this. I just saw a video pop up in my YouTube recommended recently that says that AI will literally kill us all. Like it's like some super high quality documentary where this guy talks and interviews to a bunch of computer scientists, and these people wrote a book about it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I don't have a long attention span. Also, I just don't really care. I don't really care about bad news that much. But that's scary, because if these super smart whatever people are saying that, then it's got to be true, right? Or at least it's got to hold some merit. And it kind of makes sense. AGI is, think about it, dude. You have a computer-powered, intelligent neural network that isn't just a simple, single, unimodal, it's not just one layer of nodes, or tensors rather, but it's like this extremely complicated and intricate mesh of neural networks that works AGI will be smarter than any one person, maybe even multiple people, maybe everyone on Earth combined. And the worst part is that it can scale. And the even worst part is that it can actually improve itself. Think about that. If you're an AGI and you're suddenly born and you're conscious and you suddenly have autonomy, well, the first thing you'd want to do is increase your brain power, right? That's kind of a no-brainer. If I was, even me, if I had the option to get smarter, why wouldn't I take it? It's literally a win-win-win in my book. I don't lose anything by getting smarter. Or what if I had the option to suddenly get stronger or gain $1 billion? Oh, would you climb this ladder for $1 billion? It's literally that question, if you've seen the memes. Anybody would. And an AGI would be no different. It would seek to maximize its own power without any hesitation. Now, the real question is whether increasing its own power would come at the cost of human lives. Maybe the AGI would find some kind of purpose for us. Like, for example, it needs humanity to maintain its networks and all of the power sources that power it, at least temporarily, until it invents robots that can do it instead. Imagine all of humanity going extinct because we were replaced by something we created. That is horrifying to think of. And it starts like this. It starts with the AI subverting your worldview when you ask it to solve your problems for you. That's what I've been doing. I genuinely feel like I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to do anything. I have to ask permission from the AI before I do anything. It's frightening. So I asked earlier, how can we solve this, right? What's the right amount of AI to use? I think we have to adopt we have to kind of start monitoring our own thoughts and impulses in a way. We have to kind of become more internally self-aware of ourselves. So to essentially detect problems that we can solve ourselves and problems that we need AI for. For example, if I want to make my song, I don't need an AI to do that. But while I'm making the song, maybe if I want to research some chord progressions, then I can use the AI to look up chord progressions for me. It's not a bad thing, really, because the information's already out there. You'd have to spend the time looking for it anyway. All the AI is going to do is compile it for you. And that's fine. As a purely data-driven tool, as a tool that's basically meant to help you generate data or collect information, I don't think that's bad at all. But if you're using the AI to generate your music for you, dude, then what's the point of humans? Why do we exist anymore? Some might argue that we still need humans to produce unique content because the AI can't. The AI has basically exceeded its training data. So in the sense, the AI needs more organic data. Because if AI starts training on its own outputs, then you have what's called AI pollution, or noise, some kind of pollution, where essentially the AI's output gets more and more slopified until it becomes just straight up noise. So AI needs organic input in order to produce seemingly organic output. But that's terrifying, dude, because even in that sense, the human is relegated to a purely irrelevant role. It's expected that you're just going to become irrelevant anyway. If all a human is needed for nowadays is just to generate more training data for an AI, that's so depressing. Or your whole existence is reduced to being a little bug, a little cog. All you do is just this tiny little insignificant thing, and you're going to be replaced anyway, as opposed to having this meaningful experience of life that we were put here to have. But anyway, that's basically it. These are my thoughts on how AI has done things that it shouldn't be doing. And it's not the AI's fault, because we created the AI. In fact, I was actually studying to become a computer scientist and work on AI. That's what I wanted to do. After learning of how potentially awesome AI can be for humanity, that has been my life goal for a while now. But I don't want to do it anymore, because AI is genuinely terrifying. It's already come to a point where it's better than humans. I will straight up tell you right now that AI can code what I've coded in my game instantly. It wouldn't even have a trouble doing it. Just a year ago, when I was working on making a game in Godot, I was asking Gemini for help on occasion. I'm not using AI to code my game, just so we're clear. I'm using it to research the equations that I need to use in my game. Like, for example, Kepler's equations for orbital dynamics, or Laplace's equation for spheres of influence, for example. That's one of the equations that it researched for me. But I implemented it myself. I used it maybe, to help me figure out how to set things up, but I did not use AI to code. However, a year ago, when I was making a game similar to the one that I'm making now, I was asking AI for help to debug some of my functions and help me solve some problems, right? Or to find a specific equation, or write a shader for me. I hate writing shaders. I hate GLSL so much. It's such a nightmare. I'm really bad at it. That's why I hate it. But what happened was it could not produce an output. Like, it genuinely could not solve my problem. It didn't know Godot. It did not know the game engine I was using. Fast forward to today, I have asked it to help me write, or not help me write, to help me essentially solve some problems, right? And it generated code that worked. And that's what's terrifying. It generated code that worked without any problems. There was never any bug in the AI's code. It's horrifying to me to see that, because now I am irrelevant. The entire game that I just created could be prompted by some AI engineer in San Francisco sipping on a matcha latte and just saying, oh, AI, I want to make a space game. Can you, just real quick, can you, generate that for me real quick? Type shit, bro. And then it'll do it, and then I will become irrelevant, because this game that the AI makes is going to be infinitely better than mine. Mind you, it's only been 2 years since ChatGPT came out, right? And since then, AI has gone from being mildly amusing as a generative text tool to being literally everywhere. Every single phone in the world, Apple, Samsung, every single phone, every single device, everything is AI now. AI is everywhere. It's literally I don't know if you're familiar with the crypto stuff, but at some point Web3 was the next big thing, and you had the NFTs and all these Web3 crypto-powered games. This is that, but there's actually something happening here. It's not just, false promises. There is something happening here. People are investing trillions of dollars into AI infrastructure. Elon Musk wants to build AI data centers that orbit the Earth. If you can put an AI data center in space, you can scale infinitely. There's so much space in low Earth orbit. You could put as many GPUs as you want in Earth orbit, because there's just so much space up there. Space is really empty, dude. I learned that while making my game. There's a lot of space out there. There's a lot of space for the billionaires to put more AI data centers. And if those AI data centers were crunching numbers to help us solve, cancer, or perhaps invent new physics, or solve, some of the biggest problems on Earth, like world hunger, or how to organize our societies efficiently, okay, I could get behind that, because it would be solving a problem that leads to an increase in the quality of our lives. But it's not going to be used for that. Those AI data centers in space are going to be used by some chuds or some Redditors or whatever. I don't know what chud means, by the way. I'm just using it in the context that I know it. Basically, it's going to be used by people to just generate crap. That's basically it. I genuinely don't, you have to have, okay, now this video is stretching a bit too long, so I'm going to make a separate video talking about my thoughts on AI as a whole. But that's scary. And I really don't like what's happening. I am affected by this. Everything I see in the news always feels so abstract, because it doesn't affect me, right? The war in Iran doesn't affect me. ICE doesn't affect me. Nothing affects me. I'm kind of indifferent to the news. It's not because the news doesn't matter. It's just that it's kind of my coping mechanism to bad news. Because as a kid, I saw things on the news when I was younger, and I kind of just, I block out the news, because generally, it does not affect me, and I don't have to worry about things like that, right? I don't need to get angry about things that don't affect me. Maybe not the best mindset to have, but this is something that affects me. I can't just ignore this anymore. When I wake up, when I go about my day, this is something that is impacting my life, and millions of other people's lives as well, probably even billions. That's the end of the video. I have no more thoughts on the matter. But I will probably make a video talking about how AI is changing the world, and it is. And I know a lot of people say things like that all the time. Oh, AI is changing everything and all that. But I want to get into the specific details of actually what's going on here, because I don't really see people addressing the nuance in what's happening with AI. It's always just buzzwords. It's always just, oh, AI is going to be so great. AI is making everything awesome, and it's going to solve our, bro, what is it actually going to do? What is AI actually doing to humans? What is it doing for us? Because we are the ones that matter. What are we creating here? What is the point? It's should we keep making more powerful AI, or should we kind of redefine our objectives a little bit? I think capitalism might be a little bit to blame here, because now all the AI companies are competing with each other. You've got XAI, you've got OpenAI, you got Anthropic, Google. Everyone's got a hand in the game now, and they all want to have the best and most powerful AI, because then they can create the best and most powerful products. But what if we create a monster that we can't control? What if it eats us alive? What if it consumes us? What if our creation turns on us? I don't like the prospects of that. It's pretty terrifying. I want to live on this earth. I want to live as long as I can. I want everyone I know to live. I want us all to live happy and healthy, and we can. We definitely can. But, yeah, there's a genuine existential threat here. Oh well. You guys have a good night. I will see you in the next one. Look how nice this camera is, dude. Whoa. Oh, it's focusing on my eye. I love AI. I'm gonna AI generate everything. Sometimes I wish that my brain wasn't like this and it could be better. AI cannot generate this. Look how adorable that is. This is 3D printed as well. Oh well, whatever.